you guys? Welcome back to my Bookish world. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be doing my December TBR, which is extremely long, and I'm an idiot. So, yes, I have 3 books I specifically want to finish in 2020. I want to read in 2020, and if I don't, I'll be a little irritated with myself. The other ones, I'm not, gonna be too mad if I don't get to them, but I apparently have a thing for just making ridiculously long TBRs and praying that I do it. These are books that, I think I was actually already planning to read them in December, but because, September, October, and then November were such not great reading months, more books got tacked on to December, so it became my longest TBR, so we're going to get to it. The first 3 books that I have on here are the books that I would like to get through in 2020 specifically because they're 2020 releases. So, yeah. But the first one that I'm actually going to talk about is one that I'm currently in the middle of. I'm filming this on the 30th. So, as soon as I get done with this video and I clean up, I'm going to go upstairs and read and pray because I work at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I'd like to be reading something else by tomorrow. But that's With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. Like I said, I'm currently in the middle of this. I believe I'm 56% of the way through. So I think if I read 100 pages, it's possible I could do it. It's 388. I think if I read 100-ish pages and then I finish it when I do my normal reading for the night, I think I could do it. Logically, I think I can do it. So hopefully I don't have to carry this into December and I can just finish it in November. Fingers crossed, guys. So this tentatively could be on my December TBR if I don't finish it tonight. The next book that I have here is can I get it? Can I find it? Apparently not. The Brightest Night by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the 3rd book in the Origin series. It came out in October and I pre-ordered it. Guess who has not gotten to it yet? I'm hoping to get to it because I want to be caught up on this series. I just do. I'm trying to stay caught up on series that I love because more books are going to come out in them eventually and it'll just be easier in the long run for me. I read The Burning Shadow earlier this year, so I feel like my mind is fresh enough to just go right into this. This is the 3rd book in the Origin series, which is a spin-off off of the Black series, and it follows Evie, who finds out in the 1st book that maybe her life is not exactly what she thought it was. And Luke, our main alien dude, helps her figure that out. So, fingers crossed. It's kind of big, and there's really tiny font. But I like Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, and they're usually pretty addicting. So let's hope. Actually, how long is this? 510. It's a possibility, especially because I think I'll be done with school a little bit earlier than I'll probably be done during finals week, and also I usually read during some of my shifts, so it's a possibility. It really is. And then I have The Lost Book of the Light by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Again, this came out in September, but I think I got it in October just because of shipping delays and all that with, the pandemic. I got this from the Fae Crate hangover kit for this book. So I want to get to it. It's not very long, and the font is moderately big. I think it's tall, which makes it seem wait, no, that's an extra story, I think. Hang on. Yeah. So it's 368 pages, which isn't, no, it's 365 pages, which isn't that long. Will I get to it? Will I read it? Hopefully. But we're going to force myself to read it, okay? And then the next book on here is A Kingdom of Flesh and... Is it A Kingdom? Yeah, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The 2nd book in the whatever the series is called. The first book is From Blood and Ash. This came out in September. I've had it since about then. Still have not read it because I am trash. But again, she's a big book, and again, the font is pretty small. And let's see how many pages this is. It's over 600. That's for sure. That's not a book. It is 626 pages. So yeah, I'm apparently just hate myself. But the other books on here, like, aren't that big. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And the next book I have on here, I don't actually remember the author. So let me pull up Goodreads. But it is something like Gravity, which again, I don't really know much about. By the way, I'm looking off my laptop because that's where my TBR is. My books. If it can take 5 hours, that'd be great. Let's see. Oh, it's by Amber Smith, which I believe is the author of The Way I Used to Be. I might be making that up. But it's basically, it's about a transgender boy who falls in love for the first time and how his first love changes us all. You know what? That just made me way more excited to read it. I'm excited for that. I have it on hold at the library. I have like 6 books on hold at the library, and at least 4 of them are coming in at once. I didn't do a lot of thinking. Head empty. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be a pain. Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring Blake, which I believe is a middle grade novel, so there's a possibility I could read it next month. I don't actually know what this one is about. I believe it's like a girl who likes girls but isn't out yet, and something like tragic happens, and her like sketchbook where she has, or like these pictures and stories and stuff, gets found, and like people threaten to out her. I don't know, but I like Ashley Herring Blake. I read Girl Made of Stars by her, and I really liked that, and How to Make a Wish, and I really liked that as well. So hopefully I will like this. And then I have an on writing book, which I believe is the Stephen King on writing book, that I was gifted a few years ago for graduation. I feel like I should read it because I've had it for so long, but honestly, I don't have any interest in writing horror, and I don't really like Stephen King all that much. He's kind of problematic. So I don't know if I'll read this. Maybe one day, but it's just kind of there. I think I put it on there a while ago, but I probably won't actually get read. And then I have 10 Blind Dates, which I also don't remember the name of the author for this. It would be smart if I would just, when I'm making TBRs, if I wrote down the name of the author. It's on here somewhere. I know it came out last year, and I believe it's like kind of a Christmassy book, which is why I have it. Ashley Elston, that's the name of the author. But it's basically, this girl goes on 10 blind dates that her family sets her up for to try to fall in love, and it takes place during the Christmas season. So I'm kind of excited to read it. I don't know. I want to read like Christmassy books. I'm not somebody who usually reads Christmassy books, but I want to read them. So yeah. And then the next book is One Day in December by Josie Silver. And the tagline is 2 people, 10 chances, 1 unforgettable love story. Yeah. So I don't really know what this is about. I just know that Haley and Bookland talked a lot about it last year, and really liked it. And so I put it on my TBR. So we might get into it. Although, I don't know. It's kind of on a long hold at the library, so we'll see if we actually get to it. Who knows? It might get read in January, which is not December, or it just might not get read this year at all. Stuff happens. The next book that I have on my list, which actually isn't officially on my TBR, but I requested at the library, and I should get it sometime next week, is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, which is like a holiday Groundhog Day kind of story. I like Christina Lauren's books, although they haven't been real winners with me lately, so fingers crossed for that one. But I am going to be reading it, hopefully. I'm going to read it as an ebook, so like, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty easy to read. And then the last book that I have on here is The Henna Wars by, again, I need to start putting down names of authors. I don't know what page it's on. I just looked through that page. Let's see. by, I'm gonna mispronounce this, Adiba Jagradar. That might be wrong. But basically it's about when the tagline says, when Dimple met Rishi meets Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda in this rom-com about teen girls with rival henna businesses. And all I know about this is that it's a female-female romance, and it takes place in Ireland, because I believe Irish Reader just said something about that. So this hopefully will get read this month. No promises though, because I'm not that smart at planning for accordingly. I might just be holed up for like a week after Christmas and just reading. Who knows? And then the other book that I have on here is The V Word, which I believe is like first time stories about sex. I don't know. It was on my TBR for some reason, and I was like, I haven't read this recently. I wanted to read some nonfiction. Maybe we'll read this soon. So I don't really know what it is. It might suck. It might be something that I end up DNFing. I thought since it was nonfiction, it might be something like interesting about like being sex positive. So we'll see. I guess you'll hear about it in my December wrap-up. It could be really bad. It could really be really bad. We'll see. I don't actually know who this is by, because I think it's like a bunch of different authors sharing their stories, or people sharing their stories. I don't know. And then I have two books that I am currently reading. Well, I have one book that I am currently reading from NetGalley, and then there's another book that I also need to read from NetGalley. So the first book is Me Too and You, which, again, can't remember what it's by, who it's by, or what it's called. So it's called Me Too and You, Everything You Need to Know About Consent, Boundaries, and More by Hallie Bondi. I started this a few days ago, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm only in chapter 1, but it's basically like supposed to be for younger audiences, and it's about the Me Too movement, but specifically the first chapter talks about different definitions of like healthy relationships, consent, boundaries, I was thinking of another word, power dynamics and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. I know like after the first chapter, it gets a little bit more graphic into more like sexual assault stories, but I'm interested in reading it just because I could think like I don't think younger audiences would be good reading the rest of it, but especially the first chapter kind of talking about like boundaries and stuff. And like I only started the first chapter, so I can't really tell you that much, but I'm excited. And the last thing that I am hoping to read, it's also from NetGalley, so hopefully I'll get to it, is Shine Your Icy Crown, I think is the name of it. It's the next poetry collection by Amanda Lovelace that comes out in 2021. I got an arc of it on NetGalley. I just like requested. I didn't even have to request it. It's just like anybody can read it. I don't know if it's still like that. So I'm gonna read that hopefully pretty soon. Now that I put all those pans out, they seem a little bit more manageable, but I'm not going to finish this TBR. I literally just want to finish those 3 books. Those 3 books could hold me over for the entire month if I'm not going to finish those 3 books. Oh man, I can't wait to fail my December wrap-up and be like, so, I failed, because I will. But that is it for this very chaotic December TBR. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media down below. That's Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, and probably something else that I'm forgetting. My book Sloth. And did I already say subscribe? Subscribe if I didn't say it. And comment down below some books that you're excited to read for by the end of the year. I was falling down. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.